What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to talk about with you guys. This time actually revolving around the Miami Heat and Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bam Adebayo, with it currently being reported that extending Bam Adebayo's contract would be very damaging to the Heat and their pursuit of Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2021. Per Barry Jackson. He goes on to say if the Heat this summer locks up Adebayo to a max contract or something close to it, that he appears increasingly likely to demand his full salary would be in the Heat's books for the 2021 to 2022 season, thus dramatically reducing Miami's cap space in the summer of 2021, which would obviously mean it would be a lot harder for them to potentially try and sign Giannis Antetokounmpo as well. So, again, I definitely think he is absolutely spot on with this. I kind of talked about it in my, last kind of Giannis Antetokounmpo Miami Heat video, I do believe, where it would be very, very interesting to see what the Miami Heat decide to do. Honestly, I just think they should probably just not risk it at this point. Of course, I would love to see Giannis on the Miami Heat with Bam and, potentially other players such as Jimmy Butler, because obviously Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players in the NBA. I honestly think it would just be way more beneficial for them if they were to, get, Bam Adebayo on $25 million a season or something like that. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be a max player just yet. And then, of course, you got Bam on $25 million, then go out and sign Victor Oladipo on like $22 million or something like that a season. I think that would be extremely interesting and probably the right decision for the Miami Heat to obviously go ahead and potentially do. But obviously there are a lot of problems with all of this and a lot of things that we got to kind of take into account, that Miami are probably the leaders for Giannis right now. I think if this was any other, free agency period, Giannis would be getting offers by 10 different teams. The Lakers would be interested, the Celtics would be interested, the Heat would be interested in the Raptors, literally every team in the competition. But with the NBA that we're kind of in right now, there's a lot of salary caps problems going to be coming, happening soon because of the corona stuff, and not just that, a lot of other problems too that are obviously going to be potentially happening as well, such as most teams in the league already have 2 stars on their team, like the teams that would be looking to sign Giannis. The only teams that don't really are the Raptors, who will have Kyle Lowry coming off the books, and the Miami Heat, who have only 2 max contract, or only have 1 max contract in Jimmy Butler as well. So again, this is obviously going to be extremely interesting to see what is going to happen. I think he's definitely going to be looking at Miami and Toronto and maybe the New York Knicks. I mean, if the Knicks can get Chris Paul and they can, maybe get someone else, of course they're going to be extremely interested in Giannis, and Giannis is going to be interested in them. I just think that's how it's going to be. It seems that Giannis as well has a really close connection and relationship with the Raptors president, who is reportedly going to be maybe even looking to go to the New York Knicks as well. We obviously heard a lot of news on this, which could mean he may favor the New York Knicks over the Toronto Raptors. So, again, that would be extremely interesting. I honestly believe the Milwaukee Bucks are probably the favorites to get Giannis at this point. I honestly believe they're probably the favorites to re-sign him, because they will have so much, money they would be able to give him. They're going to be able to give him a supermax worth like 50 to 60 million or something like that. And the way Giannis is playing and working on his jump shot, he'll most likely be absolutely worth it. So again, I think it's going to be extremely interesting. He can either go to the Milwaukee Bucks and be on $50 to $60 million and still contend, or he could go with the Miami Heat and be on $30 to $40 million, and then, maybe have the exact same assets, except you're making $20 million less and maybe living in a nicer area or something like that. And similar thing goes with the New York Knicks and Toronto Raptors. So, of course, this is going to be a very extremely interesting decision by Giannis, but it does seem to be, besides the Milwaukee Bucks, let's just say, I'd probably think they're the favorites right now because of how much money and cap they will obviously have, and they can put him on the Supermax, while the Heat, Knicks, and Raptors can't. I think out of those other 3 teams that I just mentioned, I think the Miami Heat are by far the favorites. I mean, they've got Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo with a bunch of role players who are absolutely crushing it throughout this season. Why wouldn't you want to go to the Miami Heat and build that, super team with them? So, again, that kind of just brings it up on what Giannis is obviously going to do. At this point right now, I think the Bucks are probably the favorites because they will be able to have all that money, and I think the Miami Heat will most likely be, you know, extending Bam Adebayo to quite a big contract. I think they are probably going to be the favorites out of the other three teams, you know, including the Knicks, Raptors, and Heat. But of course, I don't know if they're going to be able to land him. Another player they've obviously been really interested in was Victor Oladipo, and I think he could just be the smarter decision. They'd be able to keep all of their role players and probably would be able to sign Victor Oladipo on like 22 million and even convince Bam to go from, you know, 25 to 30 million to maybe 22 million as well, so they can keep their role players and contend, which I honestly think that these players may look to also do. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see how this is all going to go. I would very much like to see the Miami Heat sign, you know, the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, I don't go for the Miami Heat, but I'm a massive Miami Heat fan at the time of making this video because I love Jimmy Butler so much, and obviously LeBron used to play for them, and I do like LeBron quite a bit as well. So again, I think it would be pretty interesting to see Giannis go to them. But of course, I think right now Milwaukee will be the team that he will most likely, you know, stay with, and that's just how it's honestly going to be. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the latest NBA content and NBA news. Don't forget to comment in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Do you guys think the Miami Heat should sign Giannis? Do you think they're going to be able to? Or do you think he's going to sign with the Milwaukee Bucks? Again, I definitely really like to know your thoughts and opinions on this all down below. But also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channel. Links for them will all be in the description down below. And definitely go check out my podcast as well if you haven't already, which will also be linked in the description down below. So as I was saying, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.